to you. I am a moon cancer servant. True name, Bibi. Though I much prefer that my name be Hakubi. So that is what you will call me. Now, I ask you, are you my senpai?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Void. I'm Brian, your host, and today I am introducing another fan servant. This time it is the moon cancer servant, Hakubibi, or Hakubi as she prefers. Before I get into explaining how she works, I first want to thank Sabina for once again providing amazingly beautiful art. Hakubi came out completely stunning. And, of course, thank you to KissVoices for providing the voice. Holy shit, she did it perfectly. She sounds exactly like how I wanted. You can find both of their links in the description below. Go show them some love and support. Now, I want to start off by touching on my thought process for creating OCs, because it's actually very important to how I crafted Hakubi. I like to play within the rules of whatever media I'm creating a character for. Sure, I'll bend the rules and play around a bit to really make them my own, but for the most part, I don't want to outright break the rules and contradict the universe that I'm putting the character in. I might as well make a purely original story at that point. For example, I'm not going to give a character a quirk that allows him to summon a literal angel, or throw out the equivalent of thousands of years of lore while claiming that I stuck to the source material when Galadriel is... Sorry about that, it's a, sensitive topic. But my point is that coloring inside the lines, as it were, presents a fun, creative challenge for me, and is also how I show my love for the particular story that I'm putting my character in. Now, Fate being a large franchise with multiple timelines and canonical representations of alternate versions of many characters, it has a lot of wiggle room in this regard. Case in point, my version of Pandora, compared to how she appears in Fate canon, is about the same level of difference between Artoria and Proto-Arthur. You can do a lot before even coming close to doing something that outright can be contradictory. But how does this lead into Moon Cancers, specifically mine? Well, Moon Cancer is a very interesting and hyper-specific class. Yes, Kiata mentions that a qualifying factor is damaging the moon, but the card art, to me, is too unique for that. In fact, it even changes depending on the related character. Add on to this, all but one member of this class are directly related to BB, and all of them have a connection to the moon cell specifically. And finally, they are all Type Moon original characters. And if you want more information on the class as a whole, feel free to watch this video at the end of this one. Shameless plugging aside, the problem then arises for me. How do I approach this when I'm making a fan servant for each class? Should I be cheeky and make an Inaba servant or a vague Man in the Moon servant? Fine options, but they don't feel true to the class to me. So I thought, and I thought, and I thought. Then a scenario came to me. Playing with the idea that the Extraverse has about 20 different timelines to itself, and combining it with my desire for Last Encore to be actually good, I think about Hakuno Kishinami dying. Though, in this case, it would be in a CCC-type timeline against Kiata. Kiata is still defeated, but Hakuno is irreparably damaged and is fading away. Bibi comes into play, having put herself mostly back together after being assimilated by Kiata, thanks to backups or whatever. She's not fully whole, and Hakuno is deteriorating in front of her. So she makes a call to save her senpai by assimilating them. However, with Bibi not being whole, the pieces of Hakuno end up filling in the gaps, and the two merge in a very unexpected way. This creates a new body, a new personality, a new entity. The technical designation is still Bibi, or Haku Bibi, but she fashions herself as Hakubi. She is the self-proclaimed daughter of Hakuno Kishinami and the AI Bibi. She is both of them, but is also something different from either of them, so it's a fair claim. Though she is also incredibly unstable in terms of her personality and her data. She's a glitch, a virus even, barely able to hold form, but still wildly powerful. As for her overall appearance, it is largely inspired by this gothic Lolita Bibi that was done by Wada during the early production of CCC. Sabina took the time to make several variants. Her dedication and craft is awe-inspiring. All of them were amazing and can probably be ascensions if I ever decide to go down that road. If you're interested in seeing that possibility and seeing more OCs and fan service in the future, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified and all that fun stuff. Now, for Hakubi's powers. She, of course, displays them and her corrupted nature through her skills. The first being Domina Koronam. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It means 10 crowns. This removes debuffs from the party and heals them, as well as grants a debuff immunity. It also applies health regen to Hakubi. In essence, this is simply a more powerful version of normal Bibi's first skill, making it closer to the true capabilities of the actual skill. Hakubi has less care and less control over the skills she uses and is more than happy to be overpowered. The second skill is Self-Modification Corrupted. With it, she gains a random amount of stars each turn, like 5 to 20. It also increases her critical damage and quick efficiency, and applies a chance for evasion. This is not Bibi's self-modification, but a reflection of Hakubi's very self. She is made from a damaged Bibi, forcing the scraps of Hakuno's data into herself in order to keep her from disappearing and to keep her safe. Her very existence is completely unstable at almost all times. She is in constant danger of clipping through the floor like a Bethesda character, which is why she floats actually. But she does mitigate that with her third skill, Moon Cell Regalia. This increases Hakubi's NP damage and NP gauge. It also applies a one-hit anti-purge to her, and she gains a special damage buff to moon cancers and alter egos, while also nullifying her ruler disadvantages. As it turns out, Hakubi holds a special artifact from another timeline known as the Regalia. It is a symbol of maximum authority in the Moon Cell that answers to Hakuno Kishinami, and is the primary reason why she doesn't fall apart. Granted, it doesn't have as much power outside of the Moon Cell, but Hakubi can use a little bit of it to maintain herself and exercise a small bit of authority. And finally, we have her alliterative noble phantasm, Corrupted Cancerous Child. This is a quick noble phantasm that removes buffs and then deals massive damage to a single target. The target receives a special debuff called Corruption. While active, it seals NP and skills, while also dealing damage over time. Corruption has a baked-in removal resistance on top of it. The amount of turns that it lasts increases with overcharge, so it has a minimum of 1 turn. Essentially, this is Hakubi using her unstable, corrupted nature and inflicting it onto her enemies. Though she has little control over her very being, she is able to weaponize it to a certain extent, and those affected are seldom able to cope with it. Also, it's quick, so that we can complete the BB color wheel. And with that, this is my Moon Cancer servant, Hakubi. I like to think that due to her glitchy nature, she can just kind of phase through the timelines, mostly incidentally, and that's how she gets the regalia and then eventually ends up in Chaldea. Sort of like Musashi's whole deal, just flavored differently. But what do you think about her? Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. I am very interested to find out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you next time in the void. Later.